Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I put hose ends on braided line. So let's get started. Alright, we got the hose marked for length. I just wrote a little Sharpie mark on there. Doesn't need to be too awful long now to cut this stuff. I like to take some electrical tape. I've even used masking tape or whatever I had handy. Wrap it really tight 4 or 5 times. That helps keep the wire braid that's in there from poking out and poking you in the hand. And by the way, yes, you will be bleeding before this process is all over. Clamp the hose in the vise. Alright, there's a couple different ways you can cut this. Get it clamped up in your vise. You can use a cutoff wheel. But I like to use this bad boy, the Portaband. Line the blade up on your line right about the middle of your tape and go to tape. Makes a nice clean cut, doesn't throw stuff everywhere. I just like to use it. Alright, now that we got our hose cut to length, let's put the fitting on. So the way these work is the inside of this fitting that goes over the hose has a reverse thread on it. So when you push it on, turn it in reverse. So we'll take our tape off from cutting it. You want to make sure you go pretty slow when you get towards the last couple winds of the tape so you don't pull any of the wires out and fray it, because you'll have a heck of a time getting it on. So now you got that. It's a little bit of fray since this is cloth braided, but the wire is still intact. So push this over the top of it, making sure there's nothing sticking out, and push and turn. And then you'll push that in there till the rubber hose is seated against the little ledge in there. Now it's time to put the other end on. We're going to use a liberal amount of lube here to keep these threads from galling and to help lubricate the hose so you don't have any binding issues when you're putting it together with the hose. You need to keep it slippery. And wiggle it in there, get it inside the hose, and start twisting it. Now a good tip is to take a Sharpie, mark your hose, or take a piece of tape and just twist it around where your hose fitting and your hose come together, so you can make sure that this guy isn't pushing off the hose as you tighten it down. Then we'll head over to the vise, clamp it down in there, and get it tightened up. Alright, we'll get this fitting clamped in the vise. You don't need to use a vise, I just think it's easier. Take a rag or something to protect the aluminum finish, since I don't have soft jaws on my vise. Open it up. And clamp it down. Making sure you can still see your tape over here, your reference point, to make sure that the hose doesn't push out. And then it's just a matter of tightening it down. Checking every couple rotations to make sure that your hose isn't getting pushed out. Okay, now that we have the hose end tightened down, we'll pull it out of the vise, check our tape reference line and make sure that it didn't slide off any. It looks good, so that should be good to go. Another thing too is we don't have to tighten this down all the way and bottom it out on the fitting. We can leave a little bit of a gap there. I like to line up the flats. I think it makes a nice clean fitting. And there you have it. 10AN steel braided line, ready to go on the car. If you guys like these videos, find them helpful, like and subscribe, and I'll keep trying to put some content out for you guys. Thanks for watching.